Hello friends, today we are going to discuss the remaining part of amino acid chemistry. In first lecture we have seen classification, second lecture we have seen a formation of an peptide bond, and third lecture we have seen a different properties of the amino acid. In this lecture 4 we are going to see the reaction of an amino acid. As amino acids are the component of protein, therefore their reactions are more important with a different chemicals. So let's consider this reaction, that is the reaction of amino acid. As amino acid having a different four groups, therefore we are having a reaction of and three reactive groups, that is a reaction of carboxylic group, reaction of amino group, and reaction of a side chain R group. Now we can see here the three groups which are more reactive. These are carboxylic group, amino group, and side chain R group. So we will consider separately the reactions of these three. Let's consider first the reaction of a carboxylic group. As it is an acidic functionality, so the reactions which are associated with acid, these reactions are shown by the carboxylic group. Let's see first the reaction with alcohol, or it is also called as a formation of ester. When a amino acid reacts with alcohol, it gives a formation of a ester with removal of water. So this reaction can be explained with the help of the simple structure of amino acid. Now here we can see that there is a carboxylic group which react with alcohol and gives the formation of an ester. Here we are having the formation of an ester. So ester formation simple, alcoholic group will attack on the carbonyl and it departs the water molecule. So there is a formation of an ester. The next reaction, that is a formation of acyl chloride, or a reaction with a phosphorus pentachloride, or reaction with sulfonyl chloride. Let's see this reaction. When we consider the carboxylic group reaction with phosphorus pentachloride or thionyl chloride or sulfonyl chloride, it gives a formation of an acyl chloride. So hydroxy of carboxylic group of amino acid is replaced by a chlorine. So we are getting the formation of a acyl chloride. Next, we will consider formation of an amide bond. So in this reaction, when we are considering the formation of an amide, first it is converted, hydroxy group is converted into good leaving group, that is with the help of an same reagent PCl5 or SOCl2. We are having conversion of hydroxy into the good leaving group. Okay, and then it is treated with the ammonia. So when it is treated with the ammonia, it gives the formation of an amide bond. So carboxylic group is converted into amide, but this is the two-step reaction. First chlorination of this happen, and then secondly it is reacted with an ammonia to give the formation of an amide. Next we are considering decarboxylation reaction. Simply amino acid when subjected for decarboxylation reaction, it gives the formation of an amine. So carbonyl or carboxylic group is completely removed as a carbon dioxide, and we are getting formation of an amine with these different R groups. So these are the reactions of a carboxylic group. Now let's consider next, that is the reaction of an amino group, and these are more important than the carboxylic group. So let's consider the reaction with a nitrous acid. It is a HNO2, nitrous acid. There is a nitric acid which is called as HNO3, and there is a nitrous acid which is called as a HNO2. This nitrous acid gives the formation of an alpha hydroxy acid. Now you can see here this nitrous acid when treated with the amino acid, there is a conversion of hydroxy amino into hydroxy, which results into formation of alpha hydroxy acid. So this gives the formation of an alpha hydroxy acid. So reaction of an amino acid with nitrous acid gives the formation of alpha hydroxy acid. There are 20 amino acids, and out of that proline is the amino acid which do not react with the nitrous acid. What is the reason for that? If we look the structure of proline, in proline the amino group of amino acid is involved with an side chain R group that gives the formation of an ring structure. Therefore, proline do not show the reaction with the nitrous acid. That we have to consider, or that we have to remember while reaction with the nitrous acid. Remaining 19 amino acid will react and give the formation of corresponding alpha hydroxy acid. Next, reaction with an Sanger's reagent. What is Sanger's reagent? Sanger's reagent is 1-fluoro-2,4-dinitrobenzene. 1-fluoro-2,4-dinitrobenzene. When it reacts with an amino acid, it gives the formation of corresponding 2,4-DNP derivative of amino acid. 2,4-DNP derivative of amino acid. 2,4-dinitro derivative of amino acid. Now here we can see amino acid react with an Sanger's reagent and gives the formation of an 2,4-DNP derivative. Here we can show the attack. Nitrogen lone pair attacks on the carbon having the fluorine group, and that fluorine group is departed, and there is the addition of this entire amino acid to the remaining structure. Okay, that is simply 2,4-DNP derivative. Why we are preparing the derivative? Because derivatives are having a fixed melting point, or their melting point can be observed sharply. Therefore, we are considering this. Now next, reaction with an densyl chloride. What is a densyl chloride? It is a 5-dimethylamino naphthalene 1-sulfonyl chloride. 5-dimethylamino naphthalene 1-sulfonyl chloride. It is called as a densyl chloride. Here we are showing the reaction. Similar to the previous reaction, it gives attack of nitrogen lone pair on the sulfonyl, and Cl is departed, and addition of an entire group to the amino acid. So this densyl group shows the fluorescence, hence a minute amount of an amino acid can be determined when we are considering this reaction. And reaction arrow we can show a nitrogen lone pair which attacks on the sulfonyl, and Cl is departed, and very minute amount can be determined with the help of an densyl chloride because it is having a fluorescence. Now here you can see the name, that is a densyl chloride, and its IUPAC name 5,5-dimethylamino naphthalene 5,1-sulfonyl chloride. Here there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and fifth carbon. This fifth carbon is having a amino group which is a dimethyl. So dimethyl amino at 5 position and 1 position sulfonyl. Middle structure, parental structure is a naphthalene, therefore naphthalene. So this is the way how we are giving the IUPAC name for a reagent densyl chloride. The next one is a dapsyl chloride. What is dapsyl chloride? Dapsyl chloride is 4-NN-dimethyl 1-diazo-1-sulfonyl chloride. 4-NN-dimethyl 1-diazo-1-sulfonyl chloride. This you can see here. This is the reagent, where here is a NN-dimethyl group, here is a diazo group, and here is the presence of an sulfonyl chloride. Okay, in this case again a nitrogen lone pair will attack from here to here, and we will have formation of this. Here you can see this is the attack. Now this Cl will depart here, so there is a formation of HCl. Okay, and this gives the formation of an densyl derivative. Again, why we are preparing the derivatives? We are preparing the derivatives because we have to find out which amino acid is present. Okay, now let's consider next, that is a reaction with ninhydrin. Ninhydrin reaction, amino acid alpha carbon oxidizes to the aldehyde, and with this oxidation there is a decarboxylation and deamination. So amino acid is converted into aldehyde, but during that there is a decarboxylation and deamination. During this process, ninhydrin itself get reduced. So there is a oxidized and reduced form of the ninhydrin in the reaction vessel. This oxidized and reduced form react with the ammonia which is evolved and gives the formation of an complex. That complex having a color violet, brown or yellow. So oxidized and reduced form of the ninhydrin react with amino group, free ammonia, and gives the formation of complex. That complex is having violet, brown or yellow color. Okay, so this complex gives violet, brown and yellow color. That depends upon the amount of an ammonia react with the oxidized and reduced form of the ninhydrin. Let's consider the reaction. So when the amino acid react with ninhydrin, it gives a formation of an aldehyde, that is alpha carbon. This alpha carbon is get converted into aldehyde with formation of an carbon dioxide and ammonia. Then this free ammonia which is formed, that react with oxidized form. So this is the oxidized form of the ninhydrin and this one is a reduced form of the ninhydrin. With ammonia it reacts and gives the formation of an complex. It gives the formation of an complex. This complex is having the violet, brown and yellow color. Depending upon the intensity of the color, the amount of amino acid can be calculated. So depending upon this, we can calculate the amount. So qualitative as well as quantitative determination of an amino acid can be done. That is a reaction with an ninhydrin. Last, Edmonds degradation, which is one of the important reaction in case of an amino acid. So let's see the Edmonds degradation or reaction with phenyl isothiocyanate. First, the nucleophilic attack of amino group. The nucleophilic attack of amino group on phenyl isothiocyanate gives addition product. First, there is a nucleophilic attack of amino group from the amino acid on the phenyl isothiocyanate to give the formation of addition product. Then secondly, further the intramolecular cyclization to form a N-phenyl thiohedantoin. So intramolecular cyclization happens which gives the formation of N-phenyl thiohedantoin, and this reaction is particularly used for determination of N-terminal amino acid. So N-terminal amino acid is removed. N-terminal amino acid is removed from a polypeptide chain with the help of this. So N-terminal amino acid is removed by this method from the polypeptide chain, and it is used for identification of N-terminal amino acid. So N-terminal amino acid gives a formation of an N-phenyl thiohedantoin, that is the product obtained by this, and that will be the N-terminal amino acid. Let's consider the reaction. First, a phenyl isothiocyanate and a amino acid reacts together to give the formation of an addition product. Here you can see there is a formation of carbon nitrogen bond and addition product. So when we consider this reaction, there is a simple addition of this nitrogen lone pair will attack on a carbon, and then there is a formation of this addition product. So in this way it gives the addition product. Okay, so we are getting the addition product first, then this addition product further undergo intramolecular cyclization. This intramolecular cyclization, how it happens, the nitrogen from the phenyl isothiocyanate attacks on the carbonyl group, and it gives a formation of N-phenylthiohedantoin. So we are having attack here. So this will reform carbonyl and there will be departure of this R group. Okay. Purposefully we have done a two different color for this R group, R dash, R double dash. So here we are having this R double dash and formation of an N-phenylthiohedantoin. This was the first addition product bond, and now there is this different color bond is shown to show that there is a bond formation. This N-phenylthiohedantoin for 20 different amino acid, depending upon this R dash there will be the different melting points, so we can find out what is the N terminal amino acid. This R double dash, which is shown in a blue color, that R double dash can be a polypeptide linkage further. So here we can have the addition of an amino acid, so this will give formation of another polypeptide chain with one amino acid less. The first amino acid is removed. So this reaction is particularly used for determination of a N-terminal amino acid. It is the best reaction for determination of N-terminal amino acid, and after first addition it will give the first amino acid in the polypeptide. After second addition it will give the second polypeptide. Third addition will give the third polypeptide amino acid. So it simply gives the sequence of an amino acid of the polypeptide chain, and which is one of the very important property, or which is one of the very important aspect for the protein molecule. So this reaction is very important. So in this lecture what we have seen the reaction of amino acid carboxylic group and amino acid amino group, particularly the reaction with amine hydride, which gives the formation of an complex, and from that complex formation we can determine the quantity of the amino acid. So quantitatively determination can be done with the help of an anhydride reagent, and this last reaction, that is Edmond degradation, will give the N-terminal amino acid. So by determining the N-terminal amino acid, what we are doing, we are qualitatively finding out what are the amino acid present in the sequence, which is the first amino acid, which is the second, which is the third in a polypeptide chain. So this is the end of our topic, that is the reactions of amino acid. So in previous lecture and this all lecture we have completed the second topic from our TYBSc class, optional subject biochemistry, that is a amino acid, which is one of the important topic for the examination as well as for the further different examination like NET, SET and GATE examination, entrance examination of the MSc. So here we will stop, and with a big thank you we are going to end this lecture. Thank you very much.